Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Forsaken is out now, and so today we're going to be looking at some round 50 plus Forsaken gameplay, as well as a whole lot of Wonder Weapon gameplay, so you can get an idea of exactly how the Wonder Weapon works, whether it's worth getting in your game, what sort of hidden features it might have as well, and all sorts of stuff like that. It's obviously early days, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we see some buffs or nerfs coming to the Wonder Weapon, and also some adjustments of exactly how certain aspects of its kit function, but we'll talk about that in a moment. First of all, what is the Wonder Weapon? Well, it's this thing, which has a pretty awesome name. It's the Chrysalax, and its two forms are referred to as the Chrysalax Storm and the Chrysalax Savager. It also has really cool Pack-a-Punch names, so in axe form, its name is Tenebris Anima, and in gun form, it's Tenebris Cor Meum. If you whack those two names into Google Translate, from Latin to English, you get Tenebris Anima translating to Dark Soul, and Tenebris Cor Meum translating to My Dark Heart. So those are pretty cool names, but what do each of the forms do? Well, we'll start with the axe form. Your regular fire here, your shoot button essentially, is a double axe swing. The alternate fire for this is essentially as if you were ADSing with the axe. That's going to fire out an energy blade, but this does require energy charges in order to do. You get 5 energy charges regardless of whether you're pack-a-punched or not, I believe, and you can only get those energy charges back in 3 ways, I believe, which we'll talk about in a moment. This is what it looks like in-game when you do it, and if you hold down your ADS button, you can actually keep the energy blade spinning in place wherever you fired it to, and then when you release, you can return it back to you and keep on swinging or doing whatever else you want to do. Now, if any of you guys played Hades, you might be thinking, hold on a minute, this feels pretty damn familiar, and I don't blame you for thinking that. I thought the exact same thing when I first saw it, and honestly, I love it. I love the fact that Treyarch has embraced this kind of weapon type and is trying out something like this. It's a sort of unique Wonder Weapon in that sense, so thumbs up on that front, and that's before we've even switched it over to its alternate form, so we're really getting a lot of value for money here in this Wonder Weapon. Some things you might want to try with the energy blade include firing it onto the floor and holding it down, and then running an entire horde through it and just continuously having all the spawned in zombies run through the blade. It's a really effective way to get a bunch of kills, lock down a location, and if you're camping somewhere as well and there's only one way the zombies can get in, this thing's going to be super OP for you. Another thing you might want to try is firing the energy blade at an abomination, because it'll make really light work of the abomination, as you can see in this clip here, which was a very pleasant surprise, to be honest, because those things are just so annoying sometimes. When you press up on your D-pad, or B, I think, on keyboard, you can switch it to the gun version of the weapon, Tenebris Cor Meum, like I mentioned, and this form's a little bit more straightforward. It's just a gun, so you just shoot it with your shoot button, or you can aim down sight with your aim down sight button. Now, the cool thing about this one is when you're shooting it at the zombies, you'll have a chance to kind of infect the zombie you're shooting with ether crystals. And if you fire into them enough, they'll explode and deal massive area of effect damage to any zombies nearby. This is a big deal. Like, it kind of feels like the wave clear that you get when you trigger your Reiki blast by shooting the ball from the Reiki. And it's important too because of the next thing we're going to talk about, which is the kind of ammo swapping feature that this Wonder Weapon has. So when you do manage to trigger one of those purple ether explosions by shooting zombies with the gun, you'll notice that a crystal will drop out that you can pick up. And this is actually ammo for your energy blade. So it's ammo for the other version of the weapon to the one you're currently holding. And the same applies with the axe. You can be swinging the axe around, you can see crystals spawn on the floor, and those crystals will be ammo for the gun version of the Wonder Weapon. And this basically means that at all times, the player is incentivized to constantly switch between the two weapon types. If you run out of energy blades and you want more, you have to switch to the gun and start shooting that into the zombies, triggering those explosions, getting those crystals, and then you can switch back and use more blades. If you run out of gun ammo, same thing. You need to start swinging that axe around and get your crystals so you get more gun ammo. The crystals are different colors, by the way, so purple corresponds to energy blade ammo and blue corresponds to gun ammo. Also, this is probably pretty obvious, but you do get more ammo for the gun version when you pack a punch, so that might be worth doing in your game. And also, if you're a bit confused about how to tell if you have any energy blade charges or not, you just need to look at the kind of sharp part of the axe. If that's quite a dull color, if it looks like it's kind of dark, that's an indicator that you're out of charges, you've got no charge left, whereas if it's much brighter, as you can see in the clip here, then that's a sign that you do indeed have charges left that you can fire. Also, I mentioned there were 3 ways for you to get back your energy charges. You can also get charges from a max ammo that will refill all of your energy blade charges and also give you gun ammo, and you can do the exact same thing by buying ammo from an ammo crate. Doing that will cost you like 10k, but it will refill both your energy blade charges and all of your gun ammo. Now, before we talk about how good the wonder weapon actually is and what round it stops being effective on, stuff like that, we have to talk about the origins of this wonder weapon because, I mean, it's just so cool what they've done here. So in the map, you can find a kind of scroll which tells you about the Chrysalax, and it says the following: forged in the pools of Ethereum, 2 forms the Chrysalax shall take. The Savager, sharp as the mountains in the badlands of Disparax. The Storm, powerful as the winds on the ocean of Zephoria. For if you are to defeat the one who is many, it will take both to tear him apart. The Devoured shall be reborn. Their scattered ashes shall be reformed. The Forsaken's torment will be undone when the old ones reign once more. And that's signed with the name Sparagmos, who's a totally new character. We've never heard of this guy before, as far as I'm aware at least, and I'm just intrigued. I'm loving this. The fact that there's some Cold War Zombies sort of story-related stuff that's actually pulling me in and hooking me here is so good to see too, because it's really been a while. And it gives us this really mysterious flavor of where the Chrysalax has come from. Forged in the pools of Ethereum. What pools of Ethereum? That's new. And it doesn't end there. This Sparagmos fella goes on to tell us even more. There are 3 crystals which are key components to the Chrysalax. The first is a geode. Sparagmos says, created by the blast of the 3-headed beast, the geode's sharp edges could cut through, and then there's a name that I'm honestly really struggling to read here, but I think it says Luvatos. So the geode could cut through Luvatos's shield, let alone the flesh of mortal or unmortal. The Chrysalax Savager cannot be forged without it. Next, he says, ripped from the chest of a tormented soul, the crystal heart burns with such vigor it could power the commons of Aorteus, I think? Be wary, for its fire must remain lit for its potency to be assured. And then last but not least, the polymorphic crystal can shift its shape seamlessly, the source of the Chrysalax's transformative prowess. A crystal of my own creation, ensuring the weapon cannot be forged without my guidance. By my hand shall the Forsaken be undone. He may have enslaved my disciples, but he shall not enslave me. Sparagmos. So I won't go any deeper into this lore now, I'll save that for other videos, but the fact that this is actually really interesting stuff bodes so well for the future. I'm sure that in Vanguard we're going to be getting even more crazy mystical weaponry and hints towards Dark Ether, voodoo, and occult experimentation during World War II and all sorts of stuff. So very, very exciting. And we can now move on to whether or not the Chrysalax is actually any good, especially in those higher rounds. So the Chrysalax is going to stop one-hitting in its axe form at round 44. But this does not mean that it instantly becomes bad, because bear in mind, you're double swinging and you can constantly get your ammo back, so the fact that you're having to chew through more ammo or more swings is annoying, yes, and it does mean you're a little bit less safe, but it's not one of those moments where it's like instant light switch, this is the end of the world, this thing sucks now for the weapon. I'll put a bit of gameplay on screen here of me using it in earlier rounds and then using it in the sort of higher rounds to give you a feel for what that difference makes once it does stop one hitting. And while that plays, I'm going to let you in on a little secret that you might not have spotted with the axe, but that makes a really big difference to how good this thing is. So as you can see in these clips, when I'm attacking zombies with the axe, I actually am life stealing health and armor from the zombies. And I don't need to explain to you why that's amazing. It's just goddamn amazing. Treyarch, thank you so much for doing this. The fact that it's a melee weapon, it's close range, you're more exposed to getting hit by zombies and stuff, obviously means that there is higher risk when using it in its axe form, but the reward of being able to lifesteal, oh my goodness, chef's kiss, this is just brilliant. I will temper all of your excitement with one little caveat though, which is that some people have been reporting that while swinging the axe, they've been getting blue screen errors, so if you blue screen while using the axe, maybe consider mainly using other weapons for a bit, or other forms of the wonder weapon, until Treyarch gets a patch out to sort that out. Also, I've somehow gone this whole video without talking about where you get the weapon from. It's from either the mystery box or the trials machine, just like previous wonder weapons, or it's got its own quest which guarantees you to get it, and that's something that I've got a guide for linked on screen right now in the corner and in the description as well. So overall thoughts, I think this thing is fantastic. I think it's a really fun wonder weapon. I like the fact that it's pretty unique. It feels like something that I will really remember for many maps to come. The lore is incredible for it and has me really excited excited for what they might do in the future with these pools of Ethereum and all sorts of stuff with Spragnos, all that stuff. And it's pretty damn strong, and it's just fun to use, man. Like, I see a Mimic pop up in front of me. No, sir. You just bop him away, and he's gone. He's dead. It's incredible. So those are my thoughts on the Wonder Weapon and kind of a little bit of a deep dive into how it actually works so that you guys can use it the most effective way possible in your games. If this has been a useful video, please drop a like and head on over to that guide so you can get it for yourself in your games too. Thanks. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.